Namaste and welcome to Path to Anandam Series 21. Jai Shri Krishna to all. Today our session is Power of Living with Krishna Within. We celebrate Janmashtami many times, many years. But today the subject is living with Krishna within. How can we sustain this power, this aura of Krishna Janmashtami throughout the year? So welcome again and pranam to Guruji, Hariharji Maharaj, Bhagwan Krishna Ji for bringing us together this morning. I'm Satya Kalra, the founder of Path to Anandam and your host, the blissful living. So Krishna Janmashtami comes every year. But we want to know the true meaning of Krishna Janmashtami today. Why did Bhagwan Krishna reincarnated? What was the purpose of it? His life, stories, and Bhagavad Gita. And how and why to celebrate Krishna Janmashtami? What do we get out of it other than going to temples and giving prasad and having fun? But what kind of practices do we need to carry on so we do not lose the flavor, this charisma of living with Krishna and our sankalpa? I follow Lord Krishna's advice, which is Gita's advice summarized in Gita, and our homework and the tip of the day and meditation, that I live in the mindfulness of supreme power, supreme consciousness, and then question and answer. So let's celebrate the birth of Lord Krishna, Bhagwan Krishna Ji, and the rebirth of dharma, the righteousness within us. So what is the true meaning of Krishna Janmashtami? As we all know, this is a celebration of Lord Krishna's. In other words, it's his birthday celebration, which happened more than 5,000 years ago in Mathura. And this is a current birth we are talking about, not the previous ones, because he's always there. He never disappears, but this is the body form, duality form, where Krishna Bhagwan Ji is there and we are here. And then victory of dharma over adharma, righteousness versus non-righteousness. So this is a festival of devotion, joy, and self-transformation. Keep in mind, self-transformation, our own transformation. So it's a rebirth of supreme power in everybody's heart. In other words, awakening the Krishna within us, each of us, and reminder of Krishna's advice, birth and eternal teachings. So divine birth and eternal teachings, his eternal teachings, everlasting teachings, where Bhagwan Ji says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata. I am the source of spiritual and material world. So Prabho Matas, Sarvasya Prabho Mata and Sarv Pravartato. In other words, anything you see in Prakriti with eyes, it's a temporary, and that's I am the source of it. In other words, I have created. It's not that I am within you or you see me in the temples, but whatever you see around it, it's all my creation. And itti vriddhi mat sarva. Everything emanates from me. Everything comes from me. But vriddhi mat sarva, that the wise who knows this perfectly engaged in my devotional services and worship me with all their hearts. In other words, I am the creator and I am the creation. There's nothing separate than me. And good example I heard, which really I liked it. You know, you take the pomegranate, anar. It's a one outside, but when you open it, you see so many pieces inside of it. So Bhagwan is one and we are all in him. So every dana, every part of pomegranate, anar is covered with the supreme outer layer. It is called anar, pomegranate, but inside it's called the seed. We are like those small atmas, part of their supreme power. So Hariharji Maharaj said two beautiful things. Worshipping baby Krishna allows us to connect with the divine in its purpose and most innocent form, that a baby form. So this is a spiritual journey, starting with worshipping the small baby pure form, and then trying to be like him, pure like him. So this is the beginning of self-purification, self-transformation, and self-realization. So this is the beginning. Janmashtami is the day to remind us ourselves. It's a reminder that we have to live in the purity of heart, like Bhagwan Krishna Ji, and continue our journey, the journey of the soul. So why did he come? Why did he take that avatar? As you can see, his divine universal form, Vishwaswarupa. And he says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharat abhyusthanam adharmasya tadatmanam shajami aham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Sambhavami yuge yuge. So whenever there is a decline in the righteousness, adharma, glanir bhavati, whenever the danger of declining of the righteousness, dharma, and an increase in unrighteousness, adharma, oh Arjuna, at that time, I manifest myself on the earth. I appear on this earth time after time, yuge yuge, to protect devotees and righteousness. Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkratam, to destroy evil and wicked. And dharma sthapnarthaya, re-establish the dharma over and over and over, time after time after time, yuge yuge. So that's the purpose of Bhagwanji's. And it comes when it sits in our heart. We cannot accept the unrighteousness. कोई गलत होता है हमको अच्छा नहीं लगता है. because we are living in that purity of heart. Lekin whenever we are disconnected with this impurity, this purity, and our heart takes over with calm, krodh, loh, moh, ankar, that's where adharma comes. We say certain things which we regret later on. We do certain things which we regret later on, because that's what the vinashaya chadu, that's what the rakshasa, the evil thing, when it comes, he says, I come to protect. And if we are connected with him, then he holds our hand and does not let us go on that path of adharma, kam, krodh, loh, moh, ankar. So his life, Krishna's life, teaching and lessons. So his birth in prison and divine purpose. So birth, early life, defeats of demons and protection of devotees. So Bhagavad Gita teaches here, emphasizes the role of divine intervention in restoring adharma, restoring dharma from adharma to dharma, as I give the example. And here is the live example of his leelas. When he was born in prison, he was taken to Mathura, Vrindavan, Gokul. It's many names, but basically his father took him from prison. So when Vasudevji took him there, look at it showing in the Jamuna, and in the form of supreme power, the universal umbrella came on his head. So it says that whenever there is a situation, trust supreme power, because Vasudeva his father was guided to take him out of the prison. So it says that trust the higher supreme power, because those feelings, those guidance will come to us. And his leelas, playfulness, dances with gopis, as I put it here, and then the Govardhan Parvat. It demonstrates the power, the principle of performing one's duty, where we know the story of this Govardhan Parvat, when Indra, Devta got mad and he just did lot of turmoil, lot of barsat, lot of water was flowing everywhere, and there was no protection for all the gwalas, all the villagers over there, gwalas, gopis, and he took that parvat just on his one small finger. So it shows that how he protected, how he took care of dharmas and defeated Indra. And then whatever he did it with dance, with joy, with love and peace, where he shows a lot of dances with gopis. But the focus on the action, that's the question here. The message here is, when we do something, we should focus on our action, even though there will be some challenges, but we should do it with love and compassion and joyfully, not complaining, and of course with detachment. And then in Mahabharata, in battlefield, he became the charioteer and guide to Arjun, to provide strategic, not just the, he was the Sarthi, but he was the strategic Sarthi, where he was telling him what to do and what not to do, and when to do it, but do it with the morality. So he was giving him the wisdom. So again, importance of performing one's duty according to one's role. So he was Sarthi, and Arjuna was the one who was responsible for fighting, and both had done the job effectively, but he was guiding him how to do his karma. where Arjuna did not want to fight, and he said, no, you have to convert every action, whatever you are doing, for the sake of duty, which is dharma. So we must understand and fulfill our responsibilities with morality, with righteousness, and fulfill our commitment rather than running away from it. And in Bhagavad Gita, of course, he teaches, perform your duties selflessly, but also you should know that you are Atma. You are not just the body. So he teaches all that through Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, and guide us to do the selfless action and know our true nature, who we are. We are Chit Ananda. And when he left his body, he left the teachings of Bhagavad Gita as his legacy, where body, mind, and soul, the oneness, he taught us the oneness, be one with others and be one with the Supreme. And body is temporary and the soul is eternal. So whatever again we see is temporary, but we should continue to make our journey, this journey of the soul, and grow spiritually. So here you can see how he's giving the guidance, and now here he's working with Arjun as a charioteer and Bhagavad Gita. This is a legacy. This is what he has given us, that beautiful gift. So by now we know that who is Bhagwan Krishna. Bansuri wale, butter eater, makhan churane wale, charioteer, and supreme personality of the God. Purushottama, where in Bhagavad Gita it says, I am the Purushottam, and who knows that I am the Purushottam, they are the one who experience me. I live within them and they live with me. And then he's the embodiment of love, peace, Anandam, Chit Ananda, joy, bliss. And of course, he's our advisor, our guide. Bhagavad Gita is his form and self-transformer. He's a self-transformer where he transforms Arjun and he transforms us. So he's the Poon Avatar. So his legacy, Bhagavad Gita, which is, Swamiji puts it in such a beautiful way. He says it's a step-by-step spiritual and practical guide for our daily life. In other words, how to live in this world. So it is a spiritual instruction manual for operating our life righteously. And also it teaches how to die righteously. Swami Hariharji Maharaj always emphasized on these points. And he said, this is a dialogue between two friends, Krishna Bhagwanji and Arjun. Between lower self, when we are at the very low point, stressed out, depressed, in Vishad, and then with the higher self, with the supreme power. So with Paramatma and Jivatma. And actually, this is the story of you and me. It's not that just the Bhagavad Gita is we are talking about Arjun and Krishna Bhagwanji. No, it's our everyday story of you and me. And of course, it is a scripture of yoga. Every chapter of Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to perform your duty, how to be connected with supreme power, whether it is a Vishad, whether it's a Vibhuti Yoga, whether it's a Karma Yoga, whether it's a Bhakti Yoga, love and devotion, or wisdom, or even just, Bhakti Yoga, where it is the focus is on the self-transformation. It's a journey, very beautifully explained. So it's an ocean of knowledge. So when we go to ocean and look for the pulse, here it says, take each parla, each word of Bhagavad Gita, 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 Tyag, 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 anything you like from that, any word you like from that. Out of 2,400, 664 words, you take any word of Bhagavad Gita, any verse of 700 words, it applies to us at different situations. So it's up to us that pick up those pearls and make a beautiful necklace and wear around our neck. So the core theme of yoga in Bhagavad Gita, I put it here as a summary, ultimate summary of Bhagavad Gita, where one goes into Vishad with calm, with all those 5+2 enemies, desires, anger, greed, resentments, attachments, jealousy, etc. And then these are all our anger. This is what ego, what happens. These are all the things which lead us to stress, physical problems, insomnia, heart problems, immune deficiencies, cancer, everything. So Vishad, which due to Vishad, we get a lot of cortisol in our body, which is a poison for our body, which leads us to all these diseases. But here, Bhagavad Gita fills us with endorphins, with all those good hormones to give us the healthy body, peaceful mind, and then connection with supreme power through detachment, letting go of attachment to the result of action. And if you ask somebody, what is the Bhagavad Gita? And they just say, Karmanya vadika raste ma phaleshu kadachan, ma karma phalhetu bhurmate sango asti karma. Do your action for the benefit of all, sarva bhuti terata. And do not be lazy, but do it with love and compassion, with wisdom, with vivek. Know what to do and what not to do. And every chapter takes us to self-realization. I am one with the supreme power, though I have an individual body. And then equanimity, remember the calmness. And it gives the tools how to be. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan manogatan atmanev atmana tushta sthit pragasya dochate. We get the calmness, the equanimity when we are beyond or we minimize our worldly desires. And then finally let go, surrender, surrender, surrender. So Gita is not just a yoga shastra because every chapter is called the yoga, but it's a moksha shastra because it takes us beyond all this vishad through karma yoga, bhakti yoga, dhyan yoga, and Gyan Yoga. And it summarized, I put it 7 steps that focus on yourself, not on others. Study Bhagavad Gita. Practice every day. Do your duty with love and compassion, with wisdom. And then let go, let go, let go. And then we get out of all of our limitations, which is called gunas, whether it is a tamsik, rajasik, or sattvic, but we become gunatit. We get the prasad of love, peace, Anandam. So ultimate union with supreme power. So we need to practice this. But how to practice it? You are very familiar with this because every session of ours has the practices, and Nitya Yukta Upasana, not just Sunday to Sunday, but every day. And in Bhagavad Gita it says that Mayeva man adatsu, may buddhim nivesha, nivsyasti mamev at urdhyam na sanshya. If you put your heart, your mind, your action towards supreme power, then I am always with you, guiding you. But you have to do your homework. You have to do your practices. So this is the calendar which teaches us how to live with Krishna's within. Living with Krishna's, how can we do it? We cannot just sit and do the pujas all the time and rituals and all that and do the malas. But no, this is where we do practice. With blend every activity with our whole day activities. So we don't have to do anything separate, whatever we are doing, except we just have to make sure that we take care of our body, mind, and connect with supreme power through yogas, exercises, pranayam, Surya Namaskar, and then whatever we say, whatever we hear, whatever we think, whatever we do, everything is tailored toward supreme power. And then let go. And not to forget our daily practices like meditation, etc. But take one thing at a time, whatever we do, and we need more practice, then continue to practice, 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 and this is how we will be transformed, become pure, and experience our healthy lifestyle, our healthy body, peaceful mind, and live in Anandam. So Krishna Janmashtami reminds us that do all these practices not just on the day of Janmashtami, but do it every day, to celebrate Janmashtami every day. So our sankalpa is, I live in Krishna's mindfulness. All the time, whatever I do, I surrender to him and offer to him. So and then I follow Bhagavad Gita's teachings. So my sankalpa is to live and self-transform myself, cleanse my mind. And Bhagwan Ji says, don't worry, you go step by step by step, with, even though it might be at the speed of the turtle, but you will get there. Because Shanai Shanai Uppar Mein, your sankalpa will gradually, little by little, it cleanses your mind and leaves you with total connection, where you experience that I am Chit Ananda. So our homework. Do I have the purpose of my life? In other words, connection with supreme power. Do I live in his consciousness? Do I live in mindfulness of supreme power? Do I follow the teachings of Bhagavad Gita? Do I work without any expectations, with love and compassion and wisdom? This is so important, because we do action every time, every day, every moment. Even breathing, we are breathing every second. So am I breathing consciously? Am I breathing the way it is described in Bhagavad Gita? Breathe, every breath should be tangled with supreme power energy, with Om mantra, with a smile, because Krishna Bhagwan Ji always is smiling. So we should learn from that. And do I follow my daily spiritual planner? Do I practice every day? Do I regularly do yoga, pranayam, meditation, and surrender? And do I just become a witness of all these activities rather than being part of it? So live every day with Krishna within mindfulness. That's the message. And Krishna Janmashtami is not just a celebration for that particular day, but a reminder for us to awaken ourselves and continue to ask these questions, because self-inquiry is the only path which, by asking this question, we can improve ourselves and we can ultimately reach to the higher conscious level. So, Krishna within. In the prison of darkness, a child was born, a light of hope to break the storm. Chains could not bind, nor fear confine, for love eternal is Krishna divine. He plays the flute, yet calls the soul to rise above and be whole. Not just in temples, not skies of tar. Krishna resides in who we are, in our heart. When doubts arise and shadows stay, he guides the heart. He shows the way. To live with Krishna is to be free from fear, from ego, to eternity. So let this Janmashtami awaken inside the Krishna within, our truest guide. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And I actually have it in Hindi also, so I will read that as well. कारागृह तम में प्रभु जन्म लिए, धर्म की रक्षा हेतु अवतरित हुए, बंधन तोड़े भय मिटाया, प्रेम अनंत जग में फैलाया। मुरली की धुन आत्मा पुकारे, अंतर का कृष्ण जागृत हमारे। मंदिर में ही नहीं हर हृदय में वास, कृष्ण ही है जीवन का प्रकाश। संदेह में जब मन डगमगाए, गीता का संदेह मार्ग दिखलाए। कृष्ण के संग जीना है मुक्ति, अहंकार से दूर शाश्वत भक्ति। जन्माष्टमी पर्व हमें ये सिखाए, कृष्ण भीतर ही सदा बस जाए, कृष्ण भीतर ही सदा बस जाए। जय श्री कृष्ण। So thank you very much for attending the session, Power of Living with Krishna Within. And may Lord Ram, may Lord Krishna Ji, they're all one, bless you and your loved ones with health, happiness, peace, and abundance. Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you, thank you, thank you for attending.